What's up everyone, it's the Martial Commander back with another Star Wars video. We just got some news that Commander Cody was actually scrapped from Obi-Wan Kenobi along with a lot of other previous plans, such as Reva dying, more clones showing up as Stormtrooper Marshals, and a vision of Luke Skywalker as a Sith. I'll be sure to make videos on everything we missed out on, but for now I want to hop right into this and focus on Commander Cody being cut. Remember when Obi-Wan Kenobi was still supposed to be a trilogy? Well, turns out we missed a lot by only getting this as a series. Now, don't get me wrong, I absolutely loved the show. I'm grateful that we got to see Hayden Christensen and Ewan McGregor as the iconic best friends turned rivals that are Darth Vader and Obi-Wan Kenobi. But even with how grateful I am, I can't help but be a little upset with what we didn't get. From Stuart Beattie himself, the writer of Obi-Wan Kenobi, it has been revealed that so much stuff was removed from his original idea. Firstly, Commander Cody was supposed to play a big role. One of the biggest parts other than Kenobi himself. Stuart tells us exactly how Cody was supposed to be introduced to. Here it is. Yeah, Cody was the big one. I love the idea of Obi-Wan having a buddy on Tatooine. Like a secret buddy. So like the first time he goes into town, you see Cody and he's following him through the streets and attacks him. Takes him into an alley with a knife to his throat and says, "You're dead." And then you realize, oh no, Cody's making a point. Like, come on, you gotta be more careful. So as you can see here, Cody was being introduced as a good guy, teaching Obi-Wan a lesson on how he needs to be more cautious, or else he'll end up like all the other Jedi. Stuart goes on to tell us why Cody is all of a sudden a good guy, apparently removing his inhibitor chip sometime after Order 66. Even though Bad Batch revealed, a lot of clones simply lose the effects after a while, so there's really no need to remove them, but here's what follows. Oh, Cody is now morphed from someone who was trying to kill him when we last saw them, to someone who is now devoting his life to protect him. Because by now he's had the biochip taken out of his head, and now he realizes, oh my god, what I did was wrong. And he is driven by guilt, as much as Obi-Wan is driven by guilt. So you got these two kind of old warriors bickering like this old married couple, bitching about, God, it was so much better when we had an army at our backs, you know? But his involvement doesn't stop here. Just like in the show, Obi-Wan does end up leaving Tatooine for a brief period, which is odd since he's leaving Luke with absolutely no protection, right? Yeah, well, originally, this would have made more sense. Cody was supposed to be the one watching over him, which I personally believe would have been perfect. Seeing Cody would make the Tatooine arc so much better. Imagine if Kenobi even let Cody in on the secret that Luke was Anakin's son. After all, Cody worked very closely with Anakin, Rex, and the rest of the 501st. Luke being a Skywalker would give him more reason to protect him. And the idea of mine was that when Obi-Wan had to leave Tatooine, he left Cody in charge of Luke, and that gave us a fun little B story to keep cutting away to. And yeah, he's a really fun character and a guy racing against the clock obviously, because he's aging twice as fast. He's trying to atone for the worst thing he's ever done in his life. So tragic in a way, but just fun. The way they bickered in my stuff, it was just, put a smile on your face and just arguing all the time. On top of this very important role, Cody was supposed to be one of the main factors that helped Obi-Wan reconnect to the Force, helping him realize just how far he fell. But if the serious stuff isn't for you, just know we missed out on some pretty fun scenes too. Apparently there was a scene where some bounty hunters discover Obi-Wan and assumably his mission to protect Luke as well. So Owen and Cody take them out and have to get rid of the bodies. So where do they put these bodies? Well, they go to the local Sarlacc pit and start pouring them in. Then, this is where the fun begins. Stuart Beattie states that the scene was supposed to go as follows. But as they're doing it, they're just tossing these bodies into the Sarlacc pit. And the Sarlacc's eating them, right? In the middle of doing this, this other speeder comes up and they get their guns ready. And these guys see them. And they're like, everyone's like frozen. Like, are we gonna kill each other? But then the guys open their trunk and they've got stormtroopers that they want to throw in the Sarlacc. And so they start throwing. Now that would have been a really fun scene to get in my opinion. It really sucks that we missed out on that. Something similar with this script as well was that Reva was still the main opposition to Kenobi, while a group of clones that worked alongside her would replace the roles of the other Inquisitors. Here's how Beattie explains it once more. They were all Tamura Morrison, speaking in his voice, and they were all veterans of the Clone Wars. They all knew Kenobi, they all knew these Jedi they were hunting, and they were still the biochips in them. And they did not miss when they shot, and they were absolutely ruthless. There were 10 of them, and they were commanded by a guy named Commander Jet, and so they were her squad basically, and they all ended up dying over the course of the story. Personally, I'd prefer they didn't kill off these clones, but it makes sense for the story. that's really all the information we have on the inclusion of Cody. He was supposed to play a big part in Obi-Wan, but sadly got taken out. Maybe it was because Tamora Morrison was busy with Boba Fett. Perhaps it was just scrapped because they didn't feel Cody was a necessity. But whatever the reason was, we definitely missed out. Anyways, that's all for the video. Do you wish we could have seen Commander Cody in the show? I know I do. If you enjoyed, make sure to subscribe, comment, and like. I'll see you all in the next one. May the Force be with you.
Looks like we got ourselves a batch of shinies, Commander. It's shiny and new, just like you.
I have to admit that without the clothes it would not have been a victory.